We're back with yet a brand new video. I want to go ahead and cover Roddy Ricch's most recent mixtape drop, Feed the Streets 3. Quickly before we get into the review, I know 80% of you guys are not subscribed, so go ahead and do so and join up. We're on the road to 1K, so help me out. Roddy Ricch has been under fire in the last year or so, ever since he dropped his album, Live Life Fast. This year came back with his legendary mixtape series, Feed the Streets, to give us a third installment. Now, it did only sell 40K first week, and it's been out a couple weeks now. A lot of people are saying that Roddy Ricch fell off, so I'm here to ask, did Roddy Ricch beat the falling off allegations? First, we gotta dive into his performances on the album. I'm just gonna say that I think Roddy's vocals and the hooks that he gave us on the album completely carried the project for me. I think lyrically, this was my favorite Roddy album so far. For instance, songs in the outro like Letter to My Son, absolutely beautiful. I love those type of performances. I think he did a good job of, bringing us in and, actually giving these songs some more replay value. So I think the best hooks on the album were on Twin, Ashton Martin Truck, and Get Swept. Now onto the production of the project. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it was a little bit weak. There just wasn't too many beats that, stood out to me. They kind of sounded like YouTube Roddy Ricch type beats for the most part. I feel like Roddy's been going for the same instrumental style for almost like his entire career. I'd love to see him switch it up the production a little bit. I feel like songs like King Size completely threw me off on the production, so I gotta give him credit there. I did like the guitar strings on Number One Freak and Letter to My Son. I just feel like the guitar beats in general on this album were usually the best. Let's dive into the track list and look at my favorite and least favorite songs on the project. I pretty much like almost every song in here, but the ones that stood out to me the most have to be King Size, Twin with Lil Durk, Ashton Martin Truck, one of the singles, Get Swept, Number One Freak with Ty Dolla $ign, and Letter to My Son. Those are definitely my favorite tracks I have in rotation. I go back to Twin every single day since its release. That's one of my favorite songs right now. I think without that song, I honestly wouldn't play the whole mixtape as much, or wouldn't be inspired to play the entire mixtape as much. I do think overall it is an enjoyable listen. It's got good replayability. I don't think it's like great or like the highest level of replayability. I haven't been addicted to this. I don't know if it will be on my album of the year list. I do only think that there is one skip. So my least favorite song has to be No Rest. I think that song's kind of dead, and then I pretty much like every other song. There was only a couple features on the project, so let's go ahead and dive into them. I think Lil Durk had a good performance, multiple flow switches. I think he worked with Roddy's hook really well on Twin. And then you get Ty Dolla $ign on that really horny song, and Roddy was, he was horny on that song too, man. That's just how the lyrics were. That's just how the song was. It was kind of a song for the females, to be honest. Turns out that song is actually my second favorite. I would say that for features, I hope he does switch it up on the next album. We always see the same guys, Durk, Gunna, Ty Dolla $ign, and they come through with good verses and good collabs with Roddy, but I just want to see him spice it up a little bit on the next album. Which brings me to my last point for Roddy to send off this video with. I just think he needs to, in general, switch up a little bit of what he's doing. I think he's been consistently doing about the same thing every single project, just kind of giving us good projects. I think he has a good discography. I really do. I do think that he came back with Feed the Streets. I think this is an enjoyable project. The third installment, whether it's production style, flows, vocals, with his vocal range and everything, lyrical topics. Although they're a little bit different on Feed the Streets, I will give him credit there. I will say that he's generally making around the same music about every single project. I want to see him switch it up. I want to see him try different features, try even more different beats, and just see where it gets him, man. That's the reason why The Box was so good. That song had so much energy, and then it had this weird ad-lib caught on, and everyone loved it, and then just, he went crazy on all the verses, too. It was a great performance. No wonder that song was #1 for like 10 weeks. So no pun intended, I do think Roddy Ricch needs to step out of the box a little bit on his next project, although I did enjoy Feed the Streets 3. I think it's a good album. I'm gonna go ahead and rate it about a 6.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments down below your guys' thoughts on Feed the Streets 3, and I'll catch you guys with a new video very soon. Peace.